That is a nice little setup there. Whereabouts are you?
Oh, I literally just moved in.
Oh, really?
I, my last one was really nice. I'm missing it. I'll get this one. I'll get this one straight soon. I just moved. We were out of town, about 2 hours outside of town for the last 2 years. My partner was getting her master's in public health at Queen's University, which is about 2.5 hours outside Toronto. And I'm born and raised here. We just moved back, like literally shit's all in boxes. Like we're just I had to get the studio set up. I'm like, we got to do press. We're going to Australia. So here we go.
Wow. Right. So what,
Yeah.
how is I mean, going back to when it started, so the band started in Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how would you describe the scene in Toronto? Bargain basement question, I know, but we'll go from there. I promise they'll get more original.
Oh, that's a dope place to start. So when intervals began, the scene in Toronto was like looking back now, I can say like unfortunately it was kind of like on its last legs, like most local scenes in a lot of metropolitan cities. I mean the big ones still have that community, but Toronto sort of died off. There was a legendary era though, like basically early 2000s on until like right around the time that I sort of started. I was able to sort of enjoy the spoils of that. And then I'd say around 20, I don't know. I'd have to Google it, but there was a major venue in Toronto. It was like a triplex venue that had three of the most legendary rooms in the city, and it got knocked out and turned into a furniture store. That was the death of the Toronto scene. So, yeah, I don't know what year that was, but that's when it all ended. No, there's still a cool music community here. It's just like most metropolitan areas. There's a lot of fanfare for international touring acts. There's not a lot of like local only shows on a Friday or Saturday anymore, which is sad to see. Um, the first intervals gig was opening for um, the Contortionist, Textures, the Human Abstract, and Periphery on whatever that tour was. I think it was called the Frack the Gods tour. It was like 2009 or 2010, and we were invited on by Matt Halpern to open. We were friendly with, been know those guys for a long time. It's really cool. We're coming to Australia with them in a few months, which is dope. But it sort of started around there, and like I had done enough local shows with my old band to have a relationship with a promoter, and like if you know some people, you could figure it out, and manage to like establish intervals by opening shows like that and being able to kind of fit into the mix that way. But no, I come from like MySpace era, like still put like stapling telephone poles with like fly. Like I come from, I'm just kind of showing my age a little bit, but like been at it for a minute, so the scene was like really organic and very healthy at that time. Still a great community. Toronto is an amazing destination to play. You always see it when bands, we always joke that the Canadian tour, especially post pandemic, the Canadian tour is like Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, which is like way over there. You don't see many things in the middle. But if a band's coming out of Boston or New York or stuff like that, you're gonna see a Toronto show on there. It's an amazing city to play. Probably bigger for things like hip hop, EDM, things like that. But rock and metal is still absolutely, nice big community here. We got some nice big rooms, and things do well. So it's just a different landscape now. But I absolutely came from, you know, rocking local shows and just trying to get on bills, and you know, seeing local hardcore shows and metal shows and trying to fit intervals in where I could, to then, this sound started to grow early in the, those like 2010 through 2014 was like the formative years for like the early instrumental bands. And like now we have our own microcosm to sort of tour in, and outside of as well, we're able to actually get in other lanes. Last year we did Spirit Box into Tesseract. And then this year was like, we did a co-headliner with Hail the Sun right into shows with Mammoth WVH. So we're kind of all over the place now, which is cool. But anyway, big long answer for you there, but that's kind of like some perspective on, Toronto's a melting pot. So that's kind of like how I view what I do with intervals and what we're able to achieve now. So,
And hey, look, let's look at the bright side of life. I mean, you lost a venue, but now you can get affordable furniture.
oh, not affordable. It's just, no, it's a fancy one too. They did leave, there's a legendary sign that was in the venue, and they left it as like an art installation inside the store. So at least they paid respect in some regard. But yeah, for people that are wondering, it used to be called the Big Bop in Toronto, and there was a venue in the bottom floor called the Cathedral. Then you had the Reverb upstairs and a little one called Holy Joe's. And I played my first ever rock show like with my old local band in the Cathedral. I saw Between the Buried and Me play Colors front to back when it was new in that room. My old bands were opening for like all the early Sumerian bands like Veil of Maya and After the Burial and all kinds of bands like that in the room upstairs in the Reverb. I saw I Wrestled a Bear once in there, like saw everybody, and then that's funny because last year Intervals toured with it was Intervals, After the Burial, and Spirit Box, and I just named three bands that were all in that room doing different things way back when, and then there's all of us on a bill together in 2023, so that's pretty cool actually.
I imagine it would be weird too, walking through this furniture store, just going, I vomited there, I vomited there.
Oh, well. So yeah, it's somebody roofied my drink over there. Yeah, no, it's for sure. Yeah, crazy.
But Canada, I feel like Canadian cliches. And it's like when people find out we're Australian, it's just, all the animals want to kill you, and then you go over to Canada. Is it everyone calls you buddy and says sorry all the time? Like, what a
Sorry to meet you, buddy. Yeah, yeah. Um, those tropes do exist. We certainly do use the word a quite a bit. I probably already dropped a few of those in here already, but it's a functional word, so sue me. But no, it's we live up to all the we live up to all those cliches for sure. Everyone's like, really nice and chilled and easygoing, and we actually share more in common with the Aussies than people might know. I mean, we are a Commonwealth, Westminster parliamentary outfit, we're both just British offshoots. So, I mean, yeah, it's we're closely related in some regard, I suppose. So, yeah,
So, mate, you are coming down with Monolith. Yeah, man, what are you looking forward to most about it?
everything. The return to Australia, whole full stop. It's our third time down under. Um, to do it on like a nice big festival play like this is so sick. The bill is crazy stacked. All friends of ours, of course. With the exception of Coheed, who I'm excited to get to play with and hopefully get to meet the guys. I've been a fan for a very long time, and for whatever reason, the most recent record just really stuck with me. But I've been, I saw them on Warped Tour years ago, and been around for, as far as a Coheed fan for a really long time. So this is a cool one. Periphery guys we've known for a long time. It's going to be great to get out and do some gigs with them. Cross paths with Leprous on some European festivals before. Friendly with the Novelists crew. Just saw them in Toronto on their tour with Era. I have a guest solo on an early Novelist song. Love the band. We've been friendly for a long time. And I discovered Silver Fang through the tour announcement, through the show's announcement. So uh, cannot wait. Looking forward to some good coffee, some good food, nice weather, nice people. It's going to be sick. And last time we were there, we had just come from a whole run through Southeast Asia. I was dead ass tired. This time I'll just be jet lagged, so tired for a different reason. It'll be sick. Can't wait.
Are you doing like just that punishing 18-hour flight or whatever it is to get over
I'll
here?
have to lay over on the West Coast somewhere and then do the big one. So it'll be like 6 hours to San Fran or something, and then the big boy.
Oh, how do
And
you?
I just did 15 to and from. I just did 2 weeks of clinics in Asia. So I flew 15 to Seoul, South Korea, and I just flew 15 back from Taipei, Taiwan. So
How do you survive that? I haven't had to do that
you
yet.
kind of don't. You kind of don't. You just kind of you just kind of roll what's left of you down the jet bridge out the after the flight's over and try to reassemble on the floor in the hallway. But yeah, it's not my favorite part, but it's the outcome is worth it.
Yeah,
So
of course. Yeah.
love it down there. Cannot wait. And we're doing Japan right after, so it's gonna be sick.
Oh, what so in all your years of, playing on stage and all around the world, what are some of the weirdest things that you've seen in the pit while you've been performing?
It's a sick question. Oh, it depends on the show. So like we did Brutal Assault, which is an unbelievable name for a festival. We did Brutal Assault and I didn't do Brutal Assault. I played at Brutal Assault in the Czech Republic. And that was in summer 2016, and that was the Plintervals era. So Plinny and I were playing for each other, and he had an early set on the main stage. I think it was like dying fetus, Plinny aborted, which is crazy. That makes no sense. And there's a video of like we were playing one of his softer tunes, I suppose, and there's like illegible tree branch, like death metal logos. People are pirouetting through the crowd. There's like a wall of peace, you know what I mean? So that's one of the funnier things I've certainly seen on stage. If you find the right video on YouTube, somebody zooms in on like the jumbotron, and I'm like crying, laughing while playing Plenty's tunes, like trying to keep it together, playing this like sultry little clean thing, and I'm trying not to like die of laughter. So that's pretty good. See a lot of bananas, see a lot of fruit costumes, a lot of bananas, a lot of like, yeah, you see some shit like that at certain shows in America, especially we just did a co-headliner with a band called Hail the Sun. Like they're like a post-hardcore kind of like modern emo outfit, I guess you could call them, math rock type stuff. And there's like their singer, like there's like a legendary photo of him. Um, hopefully Donovan appreciates this. Uh, he's wearing a banana costume, like working at Jamba Juice in like a mall from like when he was a kid. And there's this like legendary photo of him. And there's an Instagram page that posts that photo every single day. And they refer to him as Bananavan, which is incredible. And it's like daily Bananavan. So you see banana costumes in the audience as crowd surfing. So yeah, you see a lot of fruit for sure. Um, we did that tour with Spirit Box last year, and you saw a lot of like floral headdresses and things like that. Of course, those are that's specific to them, but yeah, costumes, of course. Um, I, I might have seen a row pit at some point. I don't really know where that came from, but I think one of the shows on our spring runs had that going on. I haven't seen anyone play Magic the Gathering in the pit yet. I'm still waiting for that one. But yeah, like pit activities are crazy. Oh, here's a good one. Um, Last show of our tour, San Francisco, Plenty, Intervals, Animals as leaders. We reassembled the entire green room on stage. So we took the couch, all the chairs, everything, set it up on stage in the middle. This works great with bands that are a trio because you have drums at the back, and then you have, in this case, Tosin and Javier on the flanked on the outside. And we set everything up in the center and passed a bottle of Jameson around, whatever. But my favorite moment there was their merch guy Colin had a fresh chicken parm in like a foam takeout container and crowd served eating a chicken parm through the audience with a fresh chicken parm. So that's pretty good. So there you go.
It's amazing, like random row pits just seem to be appearing.
Road pit. Yeah,
Someone did
that
that.
was yeah.
In front of me randomly started doing that during Deftones. They're playing Digital Bath, which is possibly the least Viking metal thing ever. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
these idiots in front of me started whoosh, whoosh.
Viking appropriation in the pit. That's crazy. Crazy.
Hey, speaking of just to get the lads and gent shit posting on Facebook nice and riled up. Speaking of brutal assault, who'd win in a fight between intervals and periphery?
Oh. Um, we're all like sub 5'8". So there's a lot of
Philip
tall
was
there's a lot of tall mofos in periphery. That's also I was gonna say 6-on-4, but Nolly stays at home now, so that's a 5-on-4 scrap. Um Halpern's training jujitsu and like doing ice baths in a barrel. He's definitely hard as nails at this point. Um I I think I could take Mark. No, I'm joking. I don't know what's going on with that. They'll probably, you know what? it's somehow it's gonna be a tie, even 5-on-4. It's gonna be a tie. You don't want to underestimate Nathan. Jacob's lifting often, so and I have a feeling Travis just randomly comes out with some like karate shit. So I don't know, man. He's one of those dudes who just like will surprise you at all times. So I don't know. We don't have height going for us though. Luckily, intervals is a band of like dudes that are all relatively the same height, which is good. We don't just have like James from Tesseract, who's just like 7 feet tall, just like yeah. So, but that's a hilarious question. Wow, nice.
I specialize. I specialize.
I like it.
Um, and yeah, I'm sure I'll just drop that in gent shit posting and just watch them do the rest. So that's all
I'd love to see.
good.
I'd love to see what the responses are there. I don't know. Listen, listen. I've got confidence, and I think that me and the boys could do some damage. But 5-on-4, and you got a dude who's literally sparring and like eating nails for breakfast and bathing in an ice bath. Although I'm in the ice bath once a week, so I got it going on. I love me a cold plunge for sure. A little 100 degree sauna. I'm with it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to take Matt on then. He'll still kick my ass, but it's fine.
Oh, mate, this has been awesome. And I don't know if you noticed this. I like to think that I hit it, but I looked at my watch and went, "Holy shit, it's 9:30." And as I went to open the Zoom link, went, "Oh my God, I didn't do any questions." So
Oh,
this entire 20 minutes has been improvised off the cuff. I am that good. So
you are indeed. You are indeed, sir. That's been fun.
And Aaron, thank you very much for being a chatty Cathy. That is awesome. You have just carried you have helped me absolutely carry this. This could have been a disaster. So
No worries,
uh,
man. I look forward to seeing you down under.